How can the Church improve its approach to the family and all the modern-day challenges it faces? This question is breaking down to a series of different topics that were discussed during Day 2 of the Synod on the Family. One of the topics is language. The words used by the Church should be inviting and not outright condemning.
To label people as you are living in sin, you are intrinsically disordered, and you have a contraceptive mentality does not help in bringing people to Christ and helping them to embrace the teaching of the Church.
Another major point is the law of graduality, which underscores the unique path people take in their search for God. For some people, it's immediate, and with others, it's a process.
Permits and encourages people all of us, to take one step at a time in our search for holiness in our lives.
The notion of offense instead of defense was also touched on, highlighting the good in promoting family life instead of the challenges.
One bishop said the Church had focused too much on rejecting homosexual marriage, and in turn it had failed to express an attractive and full picture of marriage. He said we need to focus on positive instead of the negative, more on the high points instead of prohibition, more on what makes it appealing instead of presenting it as the rule.
The same idea was also discussed when it comes to sexuality in married life and its connection to spirituality.
The Church spoke out so much against sex outside of marriage that when it comes to sexuality in marriage, it's sometimes seen as an allowed marriage. It's sometimes seen as an allowed imperfection. We shouldn't be against sex, but rather show how this path can lead towards holiness.
The connection between the Church and family should also be highlighted, meaning the role the Church has played in promoting family life and therefore in promoting a strong fabric of society.
The gospel texts and how we use those specific texts, we like to quote them very often. Man shall leave his mother and father and become one and leave everything behind, or the language about divorce in the New Testament.
The Synod will conclude on October 19th. On the 20th, cardinals will be invited to an extension meeting to discuss the challenges Christians face in the Middle East.